world. That will be the result of winning this Game 3 of Virtus.Pro versus Secret. We're having it in the lower bracket here at the Stockholm Major. I say lower bracket, but it's already guaranteed top 4. But we are here with the third game of this best of 3 series. Admiral Bulldog, Gods, Sirax and Slacks. I'm ready for this. We have the opening bands ready as well. Virtus.Pro Radiant, Dire for Secret. Anything that stands out?
Oracle is out.
Oracle is not banned.
Probably going to see him, and there we go.
A foolish error.
Well, they do ban out the OD, which is just so annoying to... They still go for the Doom. They're just going back to it. They feel strong.
Well, Enigma has won what? Both Game 1 and Game 2 now.
Yeah.
He's been the big hero.
But Doom has lost both games.
So,
I think.
We'll see which is...
It's 50-50 then.
50-50. Win rate does not lie. A little bit, maybe.
Yeah. I'm already liking the Oracle. There's a reason why we never get to see this hero. It's because he can make these lineups invincible. With another healer at his side, he can make that sustain so big. All he has to do is pick heroes that are going to outlast these big bursty spells. If you can tank a Doom, if you can tank a Black Hole, you can tank the world, baby.
Hey, it's pretty good. Also, I see there's no Chen being banned here. Not being picked up, actually, by VP. I don't know if you want to go Oracle Chen. That seems a little bit bad, because you don't want Yapster on the Oracle. So surprised VP doesn't pick that up. PL?
They immediately get the core that matches up well against both Doom and Enigma, really. Like, in lane, at least, against Enigma, you have a very good time.
Why is that, if I may?
I mean, the Phantom Rush just allows you to get on top of the Eidolons. They're easy farm for you. It's one of those heroes that isn't going to get harassed out of lane at all by Enigma. I mean, every carry, you're losing range creeps, you're not having a good time, but PL, easy kills on Eidolons, really.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
5 seconds remaining.
Got some bans here. Of course, you're going to see the, interestingly enough, though, Secret bans Venge. Couldn't they have picked Venge?
They could have, but not when you ban it.
My God. Rubik banned as well, so it looks like both teams are trying to ban out those Enigma counters.
Yeah. I mean, both teams kind of reveal this like big key hero to their draft in the first stage, then immediately use their next bans to protect it.
Yeah.
Secret's banning out all those heroes that can deal with the PL, like the Brewmaster. He's got the team fight. More importantly, he's got that AoE Dispel for the illusions. And VP is now looking to protect the Enigma on their side.
Yeah. We'll see if they're going to ban out Terrorblade as well, which feels like Ramses just loves to play that hero. Kind of good against Peel, just cause that mass lag that everyone loves. And yeah, just banning out the Brew. Very annoying hero.
Do you think we dare see another Winter Wyvern? I mean, it did not work out last time as a nice Enigma counter.
I don't think they can because of the Oracle. They don't want Yapster playing either Oracle or Winter Wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might just go for Lion again if they want to. Yapster's been playing really well. Still open there. Banning the Alchemist. They don't want to get cheesed again.
No meeple.
Oh, I don't think a meeple.
Keep praying, young man.
I think this is the wrong matchup. Perhaps in the next one.
Ice Frog does not hear you, sir.
Perhaps an Abed meeple later on. Who knows? But not for VP or Secret, I would imagine. And we are waiting to see what the final ban here is for Virtus.Pro in the second ban phase. And they're ticking into their bonus time for it.
Yeah,
it's a very open draft so far for Secret, so what do you go for?
Oh yeah, they want the Yapster here, obviously, so VP should focus the bans on him. Preferably someone that can cancel the Black Hole, but all those heroes are out. Yeah. Yapster, Rubik would be great.
They may want to... Also, I think Mid-One's hero pool has been pretty small at this tournament if they want to target a player. Like, they've already banned his OD, and the other two is Monkey King and Kunkka. So they could consider just taking out one of those.
We've seen him play Leshrac and Tusk and Puck as well, and some others just throw out there. So we'll see what VP is really worried about. They are heavily ticking into their bonus time. Of course, it's not just the ban that they are discussing, also the first pick that they will get out of this banning phase.
Man, what is that good kind of BKB piercer for Yap? I mean...
That's the carry player right there.
Right there?
A Secret.
That's the everything carry. I mean, that's the if the team is winning, he's winning kind of guy right there.
He does everything.
And they ban out the Bat Rider. Pick up.
Oh, now they want the team fight. They're enough of this. This time we're going to have the team fight.
I mean, one of these is being played as
That might be a
one or a
tied,
two.
might be a tied
Tied
carry.
tied
They
carry.
instantly picked Ursa, which is just so annoying to deal with as Tide Hunter. That lane is not too fun.
Well, I think they know that like Tide or Doom is playing either as carry or mid because you can't play all these heroes as your 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen Ramses play Doom a bit if we go back like a year or two. I don't know how viable it is anymore.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it would be more likely a Tide carry, right? We've seen that in pubs. I don't know how often we've seen it in real games.
I think VP's done it once, I want to say. Or they did mid or something on no one. I don't know if it was at this turn, but I recall seeing that.
Look, Shiver, it's you.
Oh, it's me.
Shiver.
Hello, I have longer hair there. That's nice. And the Dota necklace, I like.
You don't have to judge. I mean,
Very
I
nice.
like it.
Nice nose.
It's definitely me.
very good.
Just pick 4 core heroes.
Well,
Just
what-
pick all cores, and everyone farms.
And they have last pick of the draft, and it's going to be another core, I guess.
No, easy bounty hunter game, you know? Just slapping all these guys need money, we're done.
What is happening right now? Razor has to be a core. Tide has to be a core. Doom support, we've not seen that a lot, and it doesn't feel the greatest. Enigma, that makes sense for.
All right, so there's 2 options for Secret, right? They're either gonna match the greed of Virtus.Pro, or they're gonna try to punish the greed of Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, and even though VP have picked 4 core heroes, none of these cores are like super greedy. I mean, we're going to see support Enigma, I imagine. If it's like Razor, Tide, Doom is your cores, that's super high pace, fast tempo.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that typical Ramses hard carry this game.
Yeah, and the Racer is just super good against these 2 heroes they picked up right now. With the changes to Racer, he has some AoE damage now, so he can kind of deal with the PL way better than before. And just if he lanes against any of these 2 cores, because we know Ursa will be core PL, it'll be an easy matchup for Racer right now.
Yeah, these lanes look really important. Like, Secret want this Ursa to be laning against either Doom or Tide. If Ursa gets that Razor matchup, this could be a very bad start for Secret.
I'm gonna pick up the Yapsor hero now.
Virtus.Pro.
Ooh, it will be a Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay.
Wow, they want some team fight of their own. None of these heroes hit egg very well.
Yeah, that's a problem for sure. Racer getting BKB can do it, but it's pretty bad if he gets 25 and gets the attack speed.
Yeah.
But it's hard to play around that.
I like it. I really like it. I mean, they have so much to go on with this huge team fight coming out from Virtus.Pro, and Phoenix is just kind of that anti-gigantic team fight. You go in, the egg is there, the team doesn't know what to do. Do we follow up? Do we run?
It's also just, you need a BKB on VP to kill it. There's no way you kill it otherwise, because you also have Oracle who can stop you from attacking it, and you know, it's definitely a problem. It's a good Phoenix pick for sure.
Now, we typically see an answer with attack speed against the Phoenix, you know? I don't want to say it again.
Oh.
What are you going to
You know,
say?
the classic counter to Phoenix.
Yeah, but Troll is not as good anymore.
Troll,
If that's what you're...
he has a new ultimate. So.
I know he has a new ultimate, but
Were
he's
you
not
gonna say
hits
Troll?
fast.
Troll Ultimate.
What? How are they
yes.
putting Troll in this draft?
I'm not putting
Flag.
VP's heroes?
Can we
think
ban
so.
Flag from talking?
No! I wasn't going to say troll, you fools.
What were you going to say? Let's
Were you
see.
gonna say Jogger?
Oh, well, look, it's Viper.
Viper.
First time today.
The
Mr.
break against
Viper
the Tide.
himself.
A hero
That should
can
be a
lane
good
versus Razor.
Racer lane anyway, though, right? Racer kind of... Viper's so slow. You can just run and drain all this damage. Viper just want to push out the lane anyway, so...
Yeah, I think Viper does a better against Razor than you used to because of new Nether Toxin.
Because there's no way you would put... Racer kind of has to go mid now, by the looks of it.
Which means you can put Ursa in the side lane against Tide or Doom, which I think is what... That's the nice thing about the Viper versus the Razor mid, even though it's not a good matchup for Viper, is that you get Ursa a better lane.
Yeah, actually, the way Viper's playing now is... A lot of Viper pickers, you just push out the lane, so you could put a Tizer if you want to.
They pick 5 cores.
5 cores?
It's a
What is
Weaver.
happening? Slack?
What's Soul
Flag.
Raven playing?
Yo,
Support Weaver with Axe?
could be.
Oh, but how are they gonna lane this?
I need to see who plays what, Cheever, now!
Well, you will have to wait a little bit.
Now.
I'm gonna ask you for your
What's Soulless
prediction.
hero? It must be like Tide 5 position or something? Or is it Doom
Yeah,
5
this-
position? I think they see the Ursa and they're like, we can't play Tide as a core anymore, maybe.
Bulldog, earlier you said when the Alchemist was last pick, you know, Virtus.Pro have a plan, and who are you to doubt the plan? Are you gonna doubt the plan, or are you gonna not doubt the plan?
They're top 4. This is a major. They're not going to
Yeah.
be pretending at this point. It's clearly planned.
Yeah.
You don't pretend now. Right. So they gotta know what they're doing. I believe in VP.
All
They don't
right.
pick like this otherwise.
How about you, gods?
Like Bulldog said, they're top 4. This is a major. You can clearly hear if you have a plan. So Team Secret, they're top 4 and have a plan.
All right, Secret MVP. Who do you want to go for?
Secret, of course. I'm not going to go away from that stuff
You
now.
gotta stick with the crew.
Yeah, we're gonna stick
You
with
gotta stick
Secret
with the
on
crew.
here as well. Game 3 of the series. Stockholm annexed. Make some noise for Moxie and Lizard.
I have to say, Lizard, this draft coming out from Virtus.Pro looks like some of my pubs. I'm not sure what's happening here.
Well, I saw Arzik smiling, so he's their coach. He's the one that's doing the majority of the drafting together with Ramses. As the panel has said, they have a plan. What sort of a plan that is, and is it gonna really work? I don't really know, but it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun
It's
for
definitely
sure.
gonna
I
be
mean, we
fun.
got a game number 3. I'm feeling like a really lucky girl being able to cast this right now. So.
This series, you said it before, it feels like a grand final, honestly, already. We have Secret, we have VP battling it out. It's gonna be just amazing.
We've
game
got
3.
some big plays that can come out. We got a Black Hole. We got a Ravage. We got a Phoenix Egg.
Yeah, we also
Lots.
have a possibility of 5-man. Okay, let's see. Pasha is playing the Tide. Ramses is the Weaver, so those are our cores. Position 5, Doomed. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Position 4, Enigma, a bit more normal. All right, position 5, Doom is actually crazy. That's going to be very interesting.
I mean, we've seen some really greedy drafts this tournament, and they've worked out sometimes, so.
Yeah, we have. At the same time, I believe Ursa should be able to just dominate in this game if they lane him properly. Right now they aren't. Zai is laning versus Ramses. I don't really think that's the proper lane for him. He should be versus the Tide Hunter.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of like swapping around with
Swapping
a lot of
around,
these lanes
definitely,
though,
yeah.
too, right?
I wouldn't be surprised either.
It's all about getting that optimal setup, and you know, the panel was talking about it a little bit because with that Viper going mid, you want to definitely, you know, put the Razor there, and you're kind of locked into that, right? So you kind of have to shift the other lanes, and that's going to be a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah, you can see that Ramses, he used Sukuchi all the way to go to this bottom lane and ward instantly, so they have that at least information advantage, vision advantage to see when these rotations happen. And the Absolver Boots Phoenix. Well, I'm not surprised.
He likes boots.
Not
You said it.
surprised
He likes
whatsoever.
boots.
Boots Phoenix. Phoenix also a hero that we haven't really seen a lot. Hero that got nerfed here and there, so that's the reason.
Just gonna give Pasha a little shove back, grab themselves a rune.
The Weaver, by the way, the last pick from VP, it enables them to kill the attack too, as the Weaver is one of those heroes that has super fast attack speed. You also have the Gemnet attack to work versus that egg.
We're already starting to see
Oh, they missed.
just a little bit off there, yeah.
Okay,
All right, we're
this
seeing
is-
the Tide Hunter. He's already making his way out of that top lane. Doesn't want to face off with that Ursa Bear.
Yeah, as you called it, swaps are necessary here. You basically want that Ursa versus the Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter wants none of that. And he's just running bottom. He can't really port, as then Ursa is going to do the same, so he's just going to run down here to fight against Nisha. This is a decent lane for Tide. Tide versus... yeah, Oracle does have a lot of nukes, but versus the PL, you should be super fine.
He'll make it down there someday. He's still going that long trek for Mr. Mr. Pasha.
If these lanes continue being like this, if Secret does not change anything, I think VP, they do have a slight advantage instantly in the laning stage, even though their draft looks wonky as hell. These heroes, they are countering Secret a little bit.
No one trying to sap some of that strength off of mid one.
He's getting a little bit weak. You can see mid one starting with nothing else but that crown early on, possibly into an A-toss.
We've seen mid one play this a couple times during the tournament, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it on a lot of the
I mean,
videos.
I don't even know, honestly, who I haven't seen play Viper.
Right.
Every single team is playing that Viper. Razor Viper every single time.
I just remember Matu just really like, come on, Sumail, give me a good hero. Give me a flashy hero to cast. And it was just Viper each time. It was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, strange that Matu isn't here, considering how many of his heroes are actually being played right now.
A little bit of harass being placed on Roger.
When you look at the CS, 9 and 5 for the Razor, 10 and 5 right now. He's doing super well on that mid lane, same as that Weaver on the top lane. Right now they're kind of winning these lanes. Tidehunter isn't really doing the best, but he was late on the lane, so he needs that level 3. After the level 3, he should be fine too.
He's a Tidehunter too, you know, the big thing for him is just kind of survival for the most part, get those levels. Anything else you get is kind of a nice bonus.
Ramses here is left completely alone, and he's still doing fine. He is suffering a little bit, obviously they're burning through his region, but that's completely fine as he's getting the solo experience, and at the same time, Roger is farming away in that jungle. Do they have any ways? They actually have no ways of breaking the BKB black hole in this game. There's one way, that's Supernova when it goes off, but that's just way too hard. You can't plan that out.
It's definitely going to be difficult for them to deal with it, so I think they're hoping maybe they can get the pick off early. I think they were also probably a little bamboozled by the draft, right?
Of course you are.
Not something you typically see. I think the last time I saw something like this in a pro match was actually, it was a South American game. I think it was Thunder Predator that just had drafted all off-lane heroes, all off-lane. It was ridiculous. I was like, what is happening?
I think I saw that game, like with the Panda and the Tidehunter.
There was something, there were more than that. Oh, Yapster, there's a lot. Oh,
he does have spirits to work with.
He's
so.
going to be okay, yeah.
Like, you can chase him, but he's going to use the spirits, slow your Eidolons down. Yet that is, and you're not going to be able to take him down. You're happy if you just continue farming. But this is the difference between the Phoenix and that Nyx assassin. He basically is so annoying. He's always around there, just sapping your experience and your farm. While the Phoenix, the hero is good. Like, the team fight potential that you get from Phoenix later on is definitely something to watch out for. But in the laning stage, not necessarily the strongest hero at all.
Oh, first blood though, Zai.
Zai.
A tip comes out from Yapsor.
Oh, you have to tip him there. You just have to tip him. Like,
that
first blood on a Weaver. That should not happen whatsoever. Ramses just pushing it a little bit too far over there.
It's a little overconfident, perhaps. Don't think we'll see that again.
Yeah, we won't see it again, but you don't really want to be feeding these kills away to an Ursa. You're winning that lane, sort of, but right now, after dying like that, even though he's alone, you shouldn't be dying. Especially to Zai. Zai is one of those guys that can just take away the game if he has a good start.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that ended up happening. I'm not sure exactly because we just caught the tail end of that. I'm guessing he was sitting very, very low early though, so that's probably the case. Is he just...
Is that his Ring of Health and Ring of Region?
I'm not sure.
No, Roger's.
No,
of
Roger.
course. It's so good on Weaver though. Like, he has such a small health pool, and Roger just giving him away his
He gets that bounty rune too. He's got a TP out. Oh, there's too much damage.
Oh, is he though? That was so close.
That was so close.
And he didn't port to the fountain either. If there was a dot on him, he would have died. That port was very greedy as well to port on the shrine like that. He calculated, however.
I can't believe that. That was...
Of course.
Roger God. And we're seeing that this Razor has just been continuously sapping all of that damage away from one of those The Speedy Bear over here is going to try to put as many Fury Swipes over here onto Solo. Solo's in for trouble. They get the nuke off. They need one more hit. He's going to find it. There it is.
At the same time, he gets that kill.
Oh, top lane Ramses. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here, although Roger making this rotation. Going to try to give him a hand. There's a Shikuchi. Need a little bit more damage here. They've got those Eidolons. And it looks like Nisha going to be able to walk away. Ramses going to just get taken down by Yapster. What's happening? Roger now in for some trouble. They've got the Sunray. Nisha fighting through. They just get a double kill. What's happening?
I honestly think Ramses has to be overestimating his strength here. And
mid one, sapping up that damage. He's trying to just fight through. It's just not enough.
At least one lane is going well for VP right now. That's this mid lane. After a good start, they kind of died a few times in some unnecessary ways, honestly. But no one, he's doing fine. I think they have to rotate. Oh, Ramses ported top. I don't think that's really good. I think they needed to rotate the Tide top, as Ursa is completely going to free farm versus the Tide on that bottom lane. I think you needed to send Ramses bottom instead. But he stopped again.
He's having a lot of difficulty in this lane.
He has to stop overestimating himself. Like, he cannot go so deep versus the Phoenix and the PL.
What? Solo was just walking at them. Nisha taking a bath in the sun ray. They'll turn around. No!
Is it? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It was an attempt
It's
of
not
a
a bait.
All right, that's a position 5 Doom. Twice in a row now he feeds 174 gold away, exactly that amount. Oh, he's diving.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to here. Sir, trying to throw out some damage. They're juking around this tower. Ramses needs to be really careful. Nisha, is he going to finally fall ring around the Rosie?
Gets it.
Yeah, there it is. Ramsey finds it.
Finally, one of these aggressive plays play out properly for VP. Zai, however.
Zai is just, he's hungry. He wants a watermelon. He goes, he's his head in range. He chases him down.
That's just the problem with playing Tidehunter versus Ursa. You just do not negate his damage. He has those Fury spikes. He's gonna dive you, he's gonna kill you. That Tidehunter cannot farm bottom. The reason he's farming though is because Ramsey's ported top. Zai is having a blast.
Oh
His
yeah, I
game
mean,
is so good. He's on top of the networks right now as an Ursa hero that doesn't necessarily farm way too well, but does kill heroes very well, and so far he's been successful. Going for those phase boots for the drums, he's gonna be able to run down every single target on the side of VP very soon.
I'm having flashbacks to Zai Bounty Hunter a little bit here when he just started balling out of control. This is a very scary predicament for the side of Virtus.Pro. Usually Virtus.Pro is the one that's being very aggressive. They're the ones, you know, making a lot of moves early. But like, look at this already. Zai TP's up to top.
He TP's top because Tidehunter ported top,
Exactly.
right? So he mimics the movements of the Tidehunter, and the Tidehunter can't really have a game here. However, at the same time, on the side of VP, you do still have Roger farming in the woods. So,
Oh,
I think Pasha knows.
Peekaboo.
He knows. He
peekaboo,
knows.
Pasha.
He knows.
Look at the taunt. Look at it. They're gonna dance with each other a little bit, you know.
Yeah, that rotation from Zai didn't pay out this time. Didn't really pay off. So he's gonna have to just waste a little bit of his time. Perhaps go on to Roger here.
Roger, these Fury swipes are stacking up fast. Zai's dominating.
All right. He waited out a little bit, saw Roger and took him down instead. Still a good kill for Ursa. Not really the kill he came for, but
look at him.
nonetheless,
Look at Zai. He's just like, hey Solo, let me give you a big old bear hug. We'll back off.
This game for Zai looks like when you're stacking with your low party MMR friends and you pick Ursa and just run across the map and kill everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not calling VP low skilled, it's just that Ursa is having such a good game and he's playing versus these heroes that don't really work well versus an Ursa.
He's a snowbally hero, and again, what are they going to do to him right now? He's had a great start.
They also have no catch for this Phoenix, so on the top lane, if he's there, as long as he has dive, he's fine, he can farm. Then you can put the PL in the jungle, and you can have two heroes farming really well. Yapsor likes to be that greedy support, so he's gonna have fun in this game.
Runes getting picked up now.
How many runes?
Virtus.Pro gets 3 runes.
3 runes for VP. That's something.
Once
Position
Zai
5
gets,
Doom.
oh my gosh, once Zai gets this Blink Dagger, it's on.
I mean, already it's on. He's already dominating them. No one can approach this silly bear.
Silly old bear. All right, Ramses, he's working, but how do you feel about...
The Midas?
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like they're not going to have enough time, in a sense, because...
You're buying that Midas versus a PL, honestly. And eventually that PL is just going to be a stronger core than you are. And there's catch. There's this Atos on mid 1. So they're going to have ways of catching that Weaver, even though their side isn't really the greatest at that. All right, here we go.
Look how fast the Atos, he just goes. He's got the Doom on him, but he's going to be able to just run away. Ramsey's still on the high ground. There's going to be the moving from Roger. They just can't go in on this. Look at they dropped the idol.
Yeah, like he got doomed way too late there, the Atos. I mean, even if he got doomed earlier, it wouldn't have helped. Like that Atos just got taken out with his ultimate, so he was able to run out. And now the Atos, the battle of the Atoses on the mid lane.
Oh, the slow, the Bray. Oh boy, he's just got a TP out. Just Zai, just running at Ramses, gets the root off.
Yeah, if they had detection there, he maybe could have continued, but Weaver, they still don't have the necessary catch for him, especially not if the Oracle is alone. Perhaps if you combo the Atos into the Purge from the Oracle, you can take him down. But right now it is hard. It is a free Weaver game, so because of that, that Midas does make some sense. My question is, even with that Midas later on, if he's going to be able to deal with the PL or not. But at the same time, he does have Tide and the Razor for that.
I mean, the taunts are just real in this game. I love it. Ramsey's making his way right back down to bottom lane. Knows that, you know, can get away from Zai if necessary.
How aggressive he is right now. He just knows he's the boss in this game. Just look at him. Threatening a Weaver under his own tier 1.
He's not afraid. I mean, to be fair, Ramses doesn't seem very worried about this either. Knows that he can time lapse away. He's fine. Now he has to be careful, because Zai's just going to go running at him with his face.
He has to be careful. There is an Enigma creeping about.
Yeah, Rogers. Sunk down a little bit. Fate's Edict going to go and heal him up with the Purifying Flames, too. Ramses.
What's happening on the other lanes? Let's see, top lane.
Pasha's having some free time to himself.
Right, finally he finds some farm. He has the blast completed, so some utility coming from him.
See Atos starting off. We'll follow up with the Viper Strike, another Toxin.
He can't TP, there's Purge from Puppey.
Yeah, and they're just going to chip him down. He doesn't want to use this Ravage.
Yeah.
One more hit should do the trick. Puppey going to get the Purifying Flames. And bottom lane, Zai, though, the chase is on. Ramses and Solo and Roger. Everybody wants a piece of this bear. And he's really fast, but no, that nuke comes out, and Ramses will finally get that kill.
Yeah, that's a 4 dominating kill streak ended for Ramses. He gets 400 gold, and the Midas is used instantly after. A huge boost for this little bug.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Like VP, they needed to take down Zai, at least before he gets that Blink Dagger. That was ridiculous, how aggressively he was playing without being punished. You had to do that, because while he's posturing himself so aggressively, this Phantom Lancer, he's just farming. Well, look at him. He's just in the jungle, niche ups, chilling, you know, one camp after another. Doesn't really have to do anything, because his team is completely shutting Virtus.Pro down.
I think we're just going to see Zai chill for a little bit, trying to finish up this Blink Dagger. Of course, if someone wanders into him, I don't think he'd say no to that either. Though they do have a smoke up over on the side of VP.
Yeah.
Got Black Hole. Yapsor.
Has that tag though, and it is a hard kill. He does have dive. And the Veil completed actually.
I'm sure they're hoping for something a little bit more than that, but yeah, they did finish up the Veil.
I believe the two of them are smoked up because Razor is going to push in mid, so they can catch someone that tries to defend it, perhaps.
This is one of those situations where I feel like you don't want to use everything, right? You want to hold on to something, just because if you use the whole everything in the kitchen sink, then Secret's going to, storming over at Ramses. Puppey, just walk away. 15-minute runes.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Zai. It's the swoop coming out from the Phoenix. Wants to try to take down this Enigma. Knows that that's a big part of their fight. Yapsor gets that kill.
With the Veil, with another Toxin, with the Phoenix burn, that Enigma just falls instantly. He needs to get BKB and Blink Dagger as soon as possible. It's so good in this game. Weaver going for that Maelstrom after the Midas. This is one of the builds that we see on Weavers right now. It's either the Blightstone plus the Desolator, so you have a lot of minus armor, or this other build with the Midas and Maelstrom, which does allow you to scale much better. And CIS teams, they usually actually play Weaver with this way. They get the Midas and the Maelstrom.
Bottom lane, Zai. He's going to get some of that strength. There's the damage zapped from him, but we'll be able to TP out.
Sadly, it was only the Razor there, so after that, Atos has been popped. He can't really prevent Tirsa from porting. In the grand scale, however, Ramses, he is in their jungle. He is pressuring them a little bit, farming in a very deep spot.
Well, everyone in Virtus.Pro is in the jungle farming. Ramses does need to be a little bit careful as Zai finds him over here. We'll land that root.
Oh, the root
he can time-lapse himself away. But there's a lot of other people waiting around here, so he's got to scoochie that booty out of there.
Actually, as you said, everyone is farming. That's usually what happens when you have this pub-like composition of 5 cores. You have this Doom position 5. Sasha with the Vlads building into that 4-staff, it seems, afterwards. Like, this Tidehunter is not having a game. And honestly, if he had a good start, he could do so much versus the PL. But unfortunately for him, he was playing against an Ursa.
And that Ursa just picked himself up a blink. So I think we're going to start seeing some big movement coming on here. Ramsey's just, you know, saying hello to a Phantom Lancer.
I mean, he's saying hello to a Phantom Lancer, but at the same time, he's not farming. He's wasting a lot of his time on these movements that look more like bounty hunter movements than Weaver movements. You know, scouting them out, giving some info to his team, but for what? He needs to be the one that farms.
All right. He says, please don't take my farm, Mr. Solo.
Get out of here, Solo.
The Eye of the Storm pop too. Again,
Oh, Radiance build on no one. All right, this is a way of dealing with the Phantom Lancer. You get that Atos, you get the Radiance on the Razor. You also have your passive that procs. There is a build, I believe it included Octarine Core as well. I hope it's not going to be it in this game, but it might be. And it is very decent versus the PL. And then you have the Weaver versus the Ursa and the Viper. So they are itemizing in a good way on their cores.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Radiance build on the Razor.
Yeah, it was tested out by multiple players once the change to his passive happened. We haven't really seen it in the pro scene, at least I haven't, but it's been around in pubs at least. It is alright versus the PL. Versus the PL, Radiance is always good. That's why Nyx used to work so well versus him. You get that Radiance, you get that level 20 talent, and he can't really kill you any longer.
I mean, if there was ever a game where you would try out a pub build, this seems to be the one.
Because you have a
team
pub draft, right?
Yeah. Oh, Puppy. Puppy's going to walk into a lot of heroes. Tries to save himself, but just a quick pick.
Yeah, they should continue. This is not enough. They need more.
Well, they're thinking about it. You need to catch someone, though. There's going to be the Nether Toxin right up onto the high ground here. Nisha is going to just try to burn down Solo. They use the Ravage. Solo's still going to fall. And they did manage to get the Doom off, though, so they're going to take down Yep, so there'll be no egg in this fight. We've got a lot of damage getting sapped off of mid 1 right now. There's a black hole coming out. Going to be able to catch 3 of them. Pasha just walking away. Oh, Nisha's burning down on the back end. Zai having to run himself back. They'll be able to find a kill on Nisha. Zai, he was feeling like a really strong bear. The Atos comes out.
The Atos does come down out, but
Is he gonna go back in? Yeah. Is he feeling greedy?
He has Oracle behind him. That's the only reason why he can't go back in. But Roger just getting there in the right time, in the right place, getting that massive black hole out. Solo, he is a position 5. He did die there, but he did manage to use his Doom on the Phoenix before he used his Egg, which was massive for that fight. These two supports, like Phoenix and Doom, they can scale so well. Phoenix, he has a gold per minute talent. He also farms very well, outpushes the lanes, and at the same time you have the Doom with the Devour, built-in Midas pretty much. So we're gonna see these position 5 and 4 scale into pretty strong cores very soon.
Look forward to it. Double damage rune is available top.
Well,
and that's the perfect time for Zai.
There's no Ravage, there's no Black Hole. You have an Ursa, you just go into the pit.
Well, that was the thing I was worried about when we were looking at the draft coming out from Virtus.Pro, is the fact that, you know, they have these really great ultimates coming out. But if you use it all in one shot, then what does Secret have to be afraid of?
No. That's very well said. There isn't really a whole lot that they have to be afraid of, especially right now, as their VP, they do not have the items that are necessary to win these teamfights without those big ultimates. However, you do have that Radiance right now. Now you have to tank up a little bit on that Razor. 2 Raid Bands and Atos, it's decent, but it's not good. Not any longer. Not 21 minutes in. Weaver did pick up that Dragonlance, so he tanked up a little bit. He's going to be able to take down that egg as long as no one is controlling him.
And he is farming quite well, both of the cores on the side of Virtus.Pro. 10k net worth on the Razor, 9.3 on the Weaver.
Yapsor is doing so well too. As that Void Stone needs like 2.7k more, and he's gonna have a full Hex completed on the Phoenix. Once that Hex is completed, that Weaver has to be careful. He does not have a Linkens. If they manage to catch him with the Hex, you have the blink of the Ursa, you can take him down.
Let's burst him as fast as he can. Fort's gonna come out on the top tower though. And they go, they use the Doom again. Ramses, he's got a decent amount of damage. They'll find the kill on the Ursa, mid one. He's using the Viper Strike on Solo. Slowly but surely, Ram's coming back around
He's going for the
again.
Oracle.
They're trying to go for the Oracle. Puppey in for trouble. There's a Ravage coming out from Pasha. They should be able to find it. Yeah, they'll take the kill over on Oracle.
Now
mid one in for so much trouble. Flap those little wings, mid one, run! Because Ramses is coming for you right now. We'll go pop the mech. We'll be able to get the root up. It's not going to be enough.
They just took that fight off of one big ultimate, and that's the Ravage. They did not use the Black Hole. Enigma did die, but that was so good for VP.
That's what I want to see from VP. I want to see them take objectives where they don't, or rather these fights, right? Where they don't have to use everything. There's going to be that threat always, because it's huge, right? The threat of the Ravage, of the Black Hole.
Of
it
the duel
really
that was used as well on the Ursa at the start of the fight.
Right.
You're completely right there. Well, they have so many spells that they can use. They can choose which teamfight they're going to use what. So.
But you're constantly thinking about your positioning. It's a very scary thing. In some ways, you know, I forget. You know, I was talking with another analyst at one point. The threat of the Black Hole, of the Ravage, is sometimes worse than the actual thing, because
just holding
you just
on to it, just
have to constantly be thinking of it.
Just holding on to that Black Hole makes the enemy team play in a much different way. It has always been like that. Playing Enigma versus Rubik or Vengeful prevents them from swapping anything else, prevents them from stealing anything else until they see that Black Hole. And with so many massive spells on the side of VP, like, it's on Puppey and his Oracle to first and foremost save his scores, but I do not know who's going to stop that Black Hole later on.
That is the question. Well, eventually, you know, I'm sure we'll see an Abyssal Blade get picked up on Ursa, but
Eventually, that will happen, but
I'm sure he's going to be a big target to be stuck in that Black Hole, so it's a bit of an issue with that.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Ramses moving towards that Mjolnir.
Real
Could
close.
bite right now. And as long as they have no catch for him, he can do exactly this what he's doing. He's basically, when you're a core and you're able to farm on their side of the map, what that means is that your other cores can farm a little bit freer on their side of the map, on your side of the map, as they have more space. You aren't really all clogging up the Radiant jungle. And that's good with heroes such as Weaver, with these cores that have high mobility, as long as you're not afraid of being killed, obviously. And he should be a little bit more careful now, as there's Zai with the Basher picked up.
He's going to be hoping for some lucky bashes, that's for sure.
Yeah, that first hit bash into perma bash is always scary. BKB almost completed on Enigma, needs like 100 gold more.
That's going to be scary. Saw what Roger can do if he's given a good setup. He's very patient, good positioning.
He needs the blink as well to really do an insane Black Hole without any setup.
Well, I mean, he didn't even.
He didn't
have it last time, and that was
I don't think they're
pretty
going to
good.
allow it again, that's all I mean.
Oh,
the Atos is
oh,
there.
they've got the
Bash.
Atos, they've got the Nether Toxin, they've got the Burst. Can they take down Ramses? No, he's going to be able to go time lapse back, but they've got the Ravage out. They made it using the Duke. There's the Black Hole coming out from Roger. They'll take down Puppey. Mid one is stuck in the middle of a lot of unfriendly people. There's going to be the buyback, though. They managed to root over here onto Nisha. Roger trying to run away from Sai. He doesn't want this. The first hit bash, though, coming through. Egg will get used as well. Roger's still trying to run himself away from this pit here. The rest of the team still following. They're hoping to grab him. They've got the TP. They need a bash. They don't have it. He's out.
All right, so they lose Weaver, but they do force buybacks, and they get Viper. I think they're fine with this fight. They did use a lot of their big ultimates, but if you are VP, you're satisfied still, as that Aegis just did get reclaimed.
You know, you said there's no way they let him get a Black Hole like that again.
Yeah, and it happens.
You know? Although Roger now in for trouble as Nisha has found himself. This Enigma will just take him out.
Pasha has to be careful. He doesn't have a port either, and they're circling around him like sharks. If anyone spots him, he might die here.
Well, I think the Oracle saw him, but
It's nighttime. I don't think
That's
so. That
true.
ward
That's
is Radiant. Yeah, he didn't really get in range. But he is a tanky watermelon, so it's hard to kill him. What do we have here? We have Pasha on the offensive, actually.
got Solo nearby.
Solo? Does
Hoping
he-
to maybe
Wait.
yeah, they'll cancel out the TP. Nisha, they're gonna get rooted into place, and no one. And Pasha him out, and even Ramsey's joining in on the fun on that.
It's strange seeing Nisha die like that. He's usually the one that farms. Like, not really carefully, but he farms to his limits. He doesn't really get caught in enemy jungle like that very often.
I mean, the pressure's on right now, too.
Radiant's BKB completed on no one.
Yeah, he's been just farming non-stop. Every time that Eye of the Storm has been up, you've just been seeing him bounce around from camps.
I just love the way he adapted to this game with his item build. That Radiance, it was ridiculed by many players before, but in this game versus the PL, you do what you must, and that's what these big players do. They just itemize properly. It doesn't matter that the item might look silly on the hero.
Structures are fortified.
If you needed that game, you go for it. Yapzor, however, he's gonna get that hex very soon.
He's getting so close to it, although they're putting the pressure on the mid tower. Will force out the fort.
What do they have? They have the Doom, they have the Ravage, they don't have Enigma ulti. But still, you have two big ultimates to work with.
Okay, the Atos is gonna get used on no one.
I believe there's a Force on Tide, there's a BKB on him, so it's very hard for them to just rush into them. They need to find the pick-off first. Zai is gonna rush into them though.
He's looking, he's hoping to find someone over here. Haven't quite found it. Over, Viper. Gonna get Atos out the BKB popped from no one. They're gonna try to burst him down. Zai jumping forward though. The follow-up with the Ravage. And they're gonna hold him. There's the black hole again! Zapzor is just out of here. Zai is out. Mid-1 now trying to stay alive, but the Force Staff comes out. Can they burst him down fast enough? It's not looking good here. Nisha now stuck with a lot of unfriendly faces.
Ursa bought back. I think you just get out now. If you are VP, you might even turn, but you need to go back a little bit at least. You force the buyback from the Ursa, there's absolutely no necessity to push that high ground. Wait your ultimates up again. Yapzor, man, he plays so many heroes so well, and with Phoenix he's finding farm, but he's not finding the X. He's not finding the teamfight presence that he definitely needs to have with this Phoenix. He's being caught, like with Dooms, with Black Holes, with Ravages. As a Phoenix, like, you cannot allow that to happen. You have a repositioning tool in your hero, you have that dive, you need to use it in a little bit more of a careful way.
It feels like they're getting the initiation. Like, that's a big problem right now. Virtus.Pro, they, one person gets maybe, looked at, and it's usually the Razor. They try to jump on him, but the follow-up, the reinitiation is just absurd. And I think that's one of the problems. I feel like maybe, Secret felt like they were doing a lot better when Zai, was the first one in. He was getting quick picks, and then you can follow up with the rest of the team. But it's just not happening that way for them right now.
Yeah. He did try that this time around. He was rushing in. He was going to high ground to get some info to maybe find a target, but VP was just a little bit faster than him this time around.
Well, they tried to jump. Was it? I'm trying to think. Was the Razor jumped on first?
No. Razor
jump
the
on the. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Razor Atos the Viper went on him, popped the BKB, and then unfortunately for Yapzor, he got clipped by that Ravage, and they have no team fight. Their team fight is completely around that tag. And honestly, I'm not saying it's an easy Phoenix game because they have no stuns on the side of Secret when you think about it. Besides that Basher and the Atos, alright, Atos and Purge are roots. The only stun that you have is the Supernova Egg and the Bash. So that egg isn't really easy to pull off. But still, with this Hex perhaps, maybe he can dive in, Hex that Weaver, initiate the fight that way. If you take the Weaver out instantly, maybe you have a shot, but look at VP. They're the ones.
Aggressive. They don't have any of these big ultimates. They have Doom. All right, never mind. They have Doom, they have Ravage back up. So they're using, I love this. I love that, they're being very efficient. Every time they've got one of these big ultimates up, they're looking for a fight, they're looking for a pick. Dancemancer has just finished a Satanic though, so they need to make sure that, he's locked up and not allowed to hit anything.
If you remember that Naga OD game, the power of that Naga was the fact that Naga created so much space for that OD to hit. However, in this game, they don't have that OD, they have a Viper. The majority of your damage is gonna come from the Ursa and the PL. And Doom has a completed Crimson Guard. That PL isn't really gonna hit. With the Crimson Guard and Radiance, the only thing left for VP to purchase versus the PL is the Shivas. Once they have that item, his damage is gonna be not there. And with the Sages, They know it. They know that Secret cannot fight them right now.
This is very scary for them. They smoked up too. It felt like Secret wanted to make something happen. At the same time, though, of course, VP, they smoked up, actually twice, right? They smoked up out of their base, wanted to see if they could get a pick, and then they just smoked right into the Roche pit because no one was showing.
No one was showing. They kind of realized, all right, these guys are just scared of us. They're basically just hiding away on their side of the map, which is true. Secret is doing exactly that. You have these 2 cores on the bottom lane, but the 3 of them, they're just hanging about that high ground mid.
At this point, why not?
So what's the best course of action? Because I feel like they cannot take a team fight.
No, remember, the panel said VP has 5 cores, and those 5 cores worked out. They got 32 minutes into the game, and when you have 5 cores 32 minutes into the game, it's very difficult to play against them. With this BKB on Ursa, perhaps with a good initiation from the Hex, maybe they can take down 1 target, but versus the Aegis, I just don't see it. I think they have to prolong the game a bit more.
Okay, we'll get the Atos off immediately on Ramsey. Nisha is trying to clear up this creep wave. Start to run after this Razor, chipping him down. BKB is going to get popped from no one. Yapzor,
He does have cheese,
back.
though. That's a lot of damage dealt to no one, though. They have to be careful.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Yapzor needs to get a good egg off here. But
They're gonna back out.
no middle.
They used Crimson. They use their utility items. I think they just back out. They wait a little bit. You don't want to use that cheese like that either. And they were a little bit scared, honestly, because that was a lot of damage done to Razor in a very short period of time. So maybe even wait for another item on no one. Meanwhile, Roger just building towards that refresher, it seems. Why not? There's absolutely no ways of stopping that black hole, so...
And these black holes have been so on point. They've been absolutely on point this entire time, so, you know, you can have fun with one, why not have fun with 2?
Yes, that's what I say.
Oh dear.
No, I play Enigma a lot, and like buying that refresher later on in the game is just amazing. Like the first time you do it is actually so good, as you pop that refresher, they don't maybe notice it, not all of them at least. You pop the refresher, you jump in, you have the 2 black holes, you win a team fight off of that. Especially even if they pick you off after the first black hole, you can maybe buy back and do it.
Yapzor gonna have to swoop away. BKB did get picked up on the Ursa now. Feels so, like you could feel the tension, right? Like you could feel like Secret, you know, they're trying to figure out what's the best way to approach this. VP is just being, you know, very patient. They know that they're really in control right now. This 5-core lineup has worked out for them.
All right, Nisha is working slowly towards that butterfly, but he's gonna have a rough time hitting anyone. They're gonna maybe have a little bit of a rougher time hitting him through that evasion, but versus the Radiance, versus the Crimson.
Is this one of these situations where you don't want to let them get to your base?
No, I think you're fine with defending high ground on the side of Secret. It's not really necessary for you to fight anywhere else. It's a little bit easier to position that egg on the high ground, and it's also much harder for Roger to get a good black hole off. Plus the Doom, if it's not really on a target that's controlled, the target can just run into the fountain, heal up, re-engage. So if you are Secret, you're happy fighting on the high ground, I believe.
I'm sure the battle is going to be coming to them very soon. They did just pick up a Heaven's Halberd, which will make this Ursa have some issues too.
With the level 17 on Yapzor, with the mid 1 Nether Toxin and the Aghanims, they do have the damage, but you can see no one is suffering a lot. Like, he can't really be the one hitting these towers.
Gotta wait for that perfect position. Tower will go down. We'll use the Atos immediately on the Doom. BKB getting popped from Zide. They're all grouped up over here. The spray coming out from Solo. They'll take down the Phoenix, though. There's a black hole again coming out from Roger. They grab hit 1. They grab the Phantom Lancer. Nisha, he's out of here. They're gonna just chase him down. Right there now, the Ursa is getting rooted up. They're gonna just chip him down as well.
All the buybacks coming out.
They gotta have the buybacks. They gotta come back here. Yapzor trying to slow him down with those flame spirits. Nisha chasing after Pasha. Has to be careful. Again, they just bought back. Puppy just gonna get chased down by no one. That Hex not gonna be enough
That's a dieback right there.
That's 3 people on the side. How do they defend this lizard?
They don't have the egg. The PL is the only one alive that can do some damage.
Oh no, Yapsor. Oh, he's not gonna make it out.
Flies away to his death, and I believe Secret is going to be flying home too as
There it
the GG
is,
is called.
Virtus.Pro. They take the series.
This game, we be bringing the true Davai CIS notes in the last game of the series.
Word.
Who cares? We're gonna do what we do best in the CIS. We're gonna pick 5 cores and go straight at you. We don't really care. We're gonna have a position 5 Doom. Okay, look at Ramses and how happy he is, and I'd be happy too. He's in the...
I mean, it looked a little rough early on for sure, but you know, and then hats off to Pasha for sticking it out. You know, you had Zai running at you that whole game. He had those furious wipes on you, but you know, this team, they had a plan. They executed it. Now, what?
We're gonna continue believing that they had a plan.
Well, you gotta hope that they had a plan with all that.
It did not look like they had a solid plan, but it did work out for them, definitely. That's what makes this game so great. Like these unexpected moves from teams and unexpected drafts sometimes do take the cake.
That was absolutely just an incredible series to get to cast. You know, 2 top-tier teams. We saw some really interesting drafts come out, and you know, in the end, Virtus.Pro.
Some really interesting drafts, some really interesting adaptations by these heroes, by that Razor with the Radiance, by... Hey,
Hi,
panel!
guys.
How you doing, panel?
So do you guys believe in the 5-core lineup?
I mean, I guess we have to now, right? Is this going to be our future? Is this going to be our pubs?
My pubs, what have you done?
Jake, this is your pubs. It's you when you play support.
It's
I've
awful.
seen your support.
Oh,
You rush Soaring Acceptor. This is you written all over it.
Hell
You should
yeah.
have known that it would work.
it was genius.
So let's start from the beginning here, okay? The first 10 minutes of this game looked atrocious. Like, it was... It was bad. It was like, I heard multiple times in the green room, they're throwing. Are they throwing? They're throwing. They weren't throwing. This was the plan.
Throwing is such a harsh word.
It was said, though.
That is atrocious.
Yes. They were seeding Sheaver. Comeback gold means a lot in this one.
Yeah.
Now they just go to that mid-game. You get a BKB on Enigma. There is no answer. Every time you get a 3-man black hole, how do you lose? You get all these ultimates. You cannot lose with that. Pick 5 core, win. The new meta in pubs coming to you.
Oh, I hope not.
No.
I must say, though, it was an impressive performance because at some point, it just seemed like everything seemed to click for Virtus.Pro. They were so difficult to kill. They had this team fight that... I mean, with a Phoenix, you can't really do anything with a team fight against the Enigma and the Tide and... everything, really.
I mean, in the first couple picks, we were saying, like, oh, this Phoenix looks good, you know? They're going to try to go and do some team fight, but he'll be able to scare them off. There's no scaring off 5 cores. They just all go in and everything dies.
Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about that draft of Virtus.Pro when we get to interview none other than Artseek. The coach of
Found it.
Hello, sir.
Hello, guys.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, I got to start with that 3rd game because we had a lot of question marks at that draft. So what was the plan? Was this the plan all along? Is this something that you just had, you know, shelved and pulling it out when needed? Or what was the thought behind it?
Honestly, there was like, when we prepare, we make the plan for the first picks, for the first 3 bands, for the first 2 picks. But what happened after all is just the complete flow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't planned, it just, you have to play like this against Secret. Yeah.
Kind of catch them off their toes, huh? Give them a surprise or 2? All right, good to know. Cool.
Was the game 1 you guys picked the Alchemist against Spectre? Was that something you had planned at all? Or was that just a spontaneous pick?
They banned the Morph. We wanted to pick the Morph, but they banned it, and there was no other hero to play. Like, honestly, there just was the one option, and we took the Alchemist.
We always feel like there's a little bit of an extra something special to a matchup when you guys are playing, or be that EG or be that Team Secret. Does it feel like that for you when you're drafting against Puppy? Or
Yeah,
Rising on the
I mean, it's if you're asking about EG and the Secret, they're like completely different. EG's drafts are like super straight up, default-ish, and it's like a super dry draft against them. But when you draft against Puppy, it's like the mind games and stuff. Like you're always trying to whatever.
outsmart?
Don't answer.
Outsmart,
Yeah. But when does the mind game stops, right?
Yeah,
That's the
I mean,
question.
you're always trying to surprise the enemy.
Yes. I have a question. You watched your boys play. Who would you think deserves the MVP of this game 3? Game 3.
I don't even know. It's hard to say. Maybe I don't know. Where
We have had a vote from Twitch chat. So we're going to find out who Twitch chat voted on. Oh, who is it going to be? It is indeed Roger. Close those. I was up there too. Roger, well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, his Enigma is the best Enigma in the world.
Well,
Every time we pick Enigma, we win, right?
that is true.
That is true.
I had a question for you. I'm going to give it up, though. And I'd instead like you to make a PSA. There's a lot of people that watch that match, and now they're going to try to pick that shit in pubs, all right? You need to look at that camera. You need to tell them not to do it for me, okay?
Please do not ever play like us.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Arsenic, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go back to your team again.
Oh, yep.
You can take that one with
Okay.
you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Virtus.Pro and Arsenic. That was a guaranteed top 3 for Virtus.Pro, and Team Secret will be behind and will be left at 4th place here at the Stockholm Major. Let's take a look at the bracket, see where that leaves us, because we only have 3 teams left, and that is exactly where we want it to be, because that's enough eliminations for today. We're gonna next up move to the upper bracket to get our first finalist chosen, and then tomorrow, of course, we'll play out the rest of the lower bracket. We're gonna give Virtus.Pro a little bit of a break. They deserve it.
Yeah, after a day like today, it was absolutely nut.
Wow.
Oh, there's the sound. I was so confused.
Production.
Everybody stay calm.
Click
Stay
it.
calm.
Clicking the button.
All right, guys, I need you to leave.
Oh,
I need you guys to go off
red button
stage on that
today.
side.
We're out of a job.
goodbye. We've been fired.
Panda,
Are we leaving here?
Panda, you can be a little happy. Hey, look who's here. Let me introduce to you the 3 people just taking a seat on the couch. We got Aonir, Cosplay expert, and we got ourselves a second TI winner, by the way. That is Tanak, the Sven. I mean, you don't really recognize him without the face paint and all, but it is Tanak, the Sven that won TI8. And then last we got Toka, a Nordic cosplayer, and you guys have been busy today. Aonir, you have had 11 people parade in front of you with cosplay, and you've decided who you think is going to be the victor, right?
So, yeah, we started this morning at like 10 a.m. with the pre-judging of the cosplayers, and I can just say all cosplayers are amazing. A lot of first-time cosplayers this time, so it's...
All right. Well, let's bring them on. Let's show them off here. The first up is Margarito Crystal Maiden. And that is Maragito in her Winter Warden outfit, Aeonir. What did you guys think?
Yeah, like she made everything of that cosplay from scratch. And she actually like reworked and redid like parts 4 times to be very satisfied about in the end.
Oh, wow.
So now she is actually like the Viking Princess 4.0.
All right, next up is gonna be Puppe Enchantress. And that is the Amber Light Radiant Tanax. What did you guys think about this one?
The interesting part is inside the butt piece, because there is a garden chair from Finland.
Okay.
That's what we've been told.
It's very specific.
Yes, very specific demand that I was supposed to say. And we really like the LEDs and the wig that she made.
All right. Well, the next one is Ninjasmine. It is Dark Willow. Toka, what were your thoughts on the Dark Willow?
This is a very tricky cosplay to make, and to see all these latex prosthetics that are so gravity-defying is really nice to see.
Awesome. Next up is gonna be a special one. It is gonna be Ari, the Legion Commander. Very fierce. Aeonir, what were your comments on that?
It's her first full body armor, and she said that she, like when she put on the helmet for the first time, she felt so badass that she was so sure that this is the perfect costume for her.
Awesome. The next up is Marzaus, the Shadow Shaman. The True Crow Tanax. What do you think?
So what we really liked about this costume is that he went with more realistic look, with the real leather and feathers, and actually a papyrus was used on this costume.
All right. We have the second Enchantress, and this is Violet Gear. Toka, the Amber Light Radiant.
One nice note about this cosplay is she actually dyed her own hair to match the hair color. And her hooves are made of wood, so they make that nice sound like real hooves.
Oh, nice. That is a nice touch indeed. Next up is going to be the Courier Llama Llama. She just bribed the audience with candy, by the way, Aeonir.
We really like that human version of the courier, and she has a message to all of you. Actually, it's take good care of your courier.
A wise lesson indeed, especially for mids like Templar Assassin Litrex. Unsealed Raven tonight?
So all the gems she has on the shoulders, she actually 3D modeled, 3D printed, sanded, molded, and cast it all by herself. So that was very impressive.
That is very impressive. Next up is Gandolfina Alina. What did you think of this fellow Lena?
So this is her first cosplay, and she told us she made it to get a ticket to get here. But now she realized she likes cosplay a lot and wants to do more cosplay.
Hey, that is nice. What a good influence we have over here. Next up is a familiar face. It is Ryebji Naked. It is the Centaur War Runner. In the battle dress of the proven Heonir.
Yeah, she actually had like a 70-hour trip from Germany to Stockholm, and she was working on her mohawk on the way here. So she actually knotted it on the way to Stockholm.
And it will take a while for her to get down the stairs as well. I said familiar face, but you can't actually see anything of her face under the outfit there. All right, we're almost through it all. We have one more, Enchantress, and it is Sapphire. The aspects of summer cosplay with an Aghanim scepter. Definitely good. I think Panda, I think we've had them all. You want to participate too? Heonir, what do you think? He really wants to join.
I mean, go and make some poses.
All right, give it up for Super Panda! What do you think?
That's not really what you're looking for, but I guess press F for respect.
Sorry, Panda, maybe next time. You have decided on 3 finalists, on the 3 final cosplayers here at the Stockholm Major. I would say the stage is all yours. Take it away.
So it's time to announce the top 3. I start with the third one, second and first. So the third place is Sapphire as Enchantress. The second place goes to Marcel as Shadow Shaman. And the winner of the Stockholm Major is Marugitu as Crystal Maiden.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners of the cosplay competition of the Stockholm Major. And we're gonna go to a break over here. When we're back, it is time for the upper bracket finals.